March 17, 2011. There's quite a reflection in the glass. I don't know if you can see this stuff. It's a very dim gray afternoon. This place has been here for quite a few years. It's called La Main Fine, and it's a women's sewing collective, sort of a North African black women's sewing collective, and they make some very nice things here. There's a beautiful coat and skirts, and here's all sorts of bags, quilted bags. They use these beautiful traditional African fabrics, which are still very, very popular here. You know, you see a lot of women here in Saint-Denis who do not dress Western. You know, they still dress African or Middle Eastern or wherever they come from. See, there's a woman in the back there. I've always wanted to buy something from here, but whenever I mention that, my spouse rolls his eyes. I'm wearing a caftan that a friend in Cairo, Egypt gave me about 10, 11 years ago. And he doesn't really like it that I wear sort of Arab attire when I'm in relaxed mode. But it's very well suited to the climate here. You really have to dress in layers here. The weather's very changeable. It's loose, it's comfortable, it's modest. Not that I care that much about modesty, but you know what I mean. This is our cemetery. We've got some nice flowering trees. See these gray skies here? This is very, very typical for Paris. It's just not really a blue sky place, which is good because I just don't like the sun. I have problems with my eyes, and I just don't like the sun and the heat that much. I'm not a beach bunny by any means. Let's see if I can cross the street without getting crushed, as they say in French. Écrasé. They don't say hit by a car here, they say crushed by a car. It's kind of funny when you try to translate directly from American English or whatever language you speak into French. It just really doesn't work. Frequently really doesn't work, and it's not the best way to learn a language, especially not with French. I've had a lot of people give me very, very strange looks because when I can't figure out how to express something correctly in French, I just do a direct translation from English to French, and sometimes I really end up saying terribly awkward things. You know, like there's the word abused. You know, I was an abused child, and if I say j'étais un enfant abusé, that's not correct. Because abusé in French means, it really means sexually abused. So I got a lot of strange looks. I did have a few problems in that area as a kid, but really not that, you know, not quite that. You know, I think the word should be enfant battu or like beaten or something. I don't know. You just can't do a direct translation. French is a very difficult language. It has a much greater vocabulary than English does, and it's got a tremendous amount of nuance. Often there are several words for the same thing, like you can say pingouin or manchot for a penguin, and you can say octopus or pieuvre for an octopus. And I keep asking people here, well, what's the difference? They can never tell me. Now, chouette and hibou are both words for owl, but I think one of them, I think chouette is a female, so there actually is a difference there, but it drives you nuts. You know, it really drives you nuts. I had 9 years of French lessons before I came over here. Quite useless. I was completely unprepared for Parisian French. And really, I don't really think I was bilingual here until about maybe the 5th year. I did really well in Italian, but French, difficult. It's a great language for diplomacy, however, because you can actually threaten somebody in French and not threaten them, you know. So it's really cool. It's very good, you know. That doesn't work in English. You can't do it. It doesn't exist. There are a few words that I find don't exist in French. Warm water. I don't know how you say warm in French. They say tiède, which to me means tepid. Chaud is hot. Froid is cold. Warm, you know, you'd have to say entre chaud et tiède, between hot and tepid. They don't seem to have a word for that. They don't have a word for fun. So sometimes now they just say fun. C'est très fun. They would say c'est très agréable. It's very agreeable. C'était génial. It was pleasant. But fun? They don't really have a word for that. But those exceptions are so rare, that's why I remember them. There's a lot of litter here in Saint-Denis. It continues to bother me. No civic pride. That is not typical of most of France. Alright, so I was able to find the last bottle of eau de toilette in that exotic store, and I'm going to send it off to that nice YouTube lady who sent me all the jello and the cream of tartare and the cute little pincushion the other week. Okay, bye. Oh, here comes the tramway. Bye-bye.